Oh, plebeians, it's your boy, and according to some of the commenters, your fascist Neo. Welcome back to another episode. Now, you guys should know that after 7, 8 years on YouTube, when I see an opportunity to, to clap back, when I see an opportunity when I see an opportunity to shit on a couple fanboys, you know I'm going to take it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs of all ages, if you haven't seen my previous video, if you support this, games will get worse, blah, 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 all that good stuff. You'll know it triggered quite a few middle school age children. And by middle school age children, I mean Nintendo fans. And I always want to be fair to you guys. You know, that's always been my goal. And to give you an honest opinion of a grown-ass working man with a career who's successful and who has made it. Now, I will say this. The Nintendo Switch 2 is what you guys have been begging for all along. And I understand why so many people are excited for it. Truthfully, I do. And it sounds like I just hate Nintendo or hate the Switch or this, that, the other thing. Couldn't be further from the truth. I don't care. Right? Everybody always says, well, I'm getting it. I'm hyped. I've been waiting for a super-powered Switch forever. Okay? Okay, that's fine. But now let's get a take from somebody who's not a complete retard. The Nintendo Switch 2 realistically should have just been released as a Nintendo Switch upgraded. Realistically. And I don't think there'd be any problems with it if it was. And then you could have like the next gen of games runs better on the Nintendo Switch Pro or whatever, whatever. Instead, I want you guys to hear this. By the way, Nintendo released the OLED Switch knowing that the Nintendo Switch 2 was in the pipeline. That's dishonesty, just so you know. Now, some people aren't going to like that. Some people out there are going to go, well, Neo, what the fuck, Neo? Why are you coming after us? Why are you coming after Nintendo? Think about this. I know most of you don't put your cheese and crackers down long enough or your juice box down long enough to actually think about this stuff. This has been concepted for a while now. And yet here comes the OLED Switch. They got you to buy that, didn't they? Yep, they sure did. No Switch 2 on the horizon. And then, wah! Now, let's talk. Let's talk about pricing. I don't want to talk about tariffs. I don't want to talk about Donald Trump. I don't want to talk about any of that other stuff. I don't want to talk about any of that stuff because for some reason, for some for some unknown reason, there is an entire class of people right now who, anytime something isn't right, whether it's in gaming or even in the fishing community or whatever it is, they wanna say it's because of Trump, it's because of tariffs, it's because of this. Okay? So let's leave all of that aside. We're not discussing any of that today. Now, I automatically know that by saying that, I'm going to get at least one or two anti-Trumpers in the comments and anti-tariff people in the comments. I know I am. I know I am. So I'm going to acknowledge that now. There's going to be at least one or two of you retards who dropped out of middle school in the comments. Now, let's just talk about the console and the games. Okay? You guys with me? What the fuck are we doing? Now, I will say this to the Switch's credit. If you're looking for a handheld console to take on the go, allegedly, once we actually see how it works and get our hands on it, this might be a really good option for you, provided you don't already have one. Yes, I said that. And I want the haters to hear it. I'm going to say it again. This is a big deal. I'm actually going to YouTube Shorts this bitch because nobody is going to be able to believe I actually said this. I understand that if you want a mobile handheld console, this could potentially be a really good option. Okay? It's relatively high quality, high speed, and good graphics. I'm gonna give it that as far as like a handheld mobile console goes. Okay? I mean that sincerely. Switch fans are like, oh my God, he said what? However, comma, as far as consoles go, it's garbage. It's garbage. Second-rate games, shit media, mid graphics, and things I can't understand why people would ever in 100 million, fafillion, shafillion, shubbly-doodly million years understand why we would pay $80 for Kirby and the Forgotten Land Nintendo Switch 2 edition. $80. Now you could say, well, Neo, you know, it's Switch 2. There's two games here. Or there's two experiences here. You could say that. You could. Or you could be willing to admit that you're a sucker and you're paying extra money for upgraded versions of games for a console upgrade y'all motherfuckers should have gotten a year or two ago. instead of that garbage OLED edition. Oh, the screen looks so much nicer. I've never seen so many suckers in my life. You guys are suckers. Hey, listen. I sold my Steam Deck. All right? It was a paperweight for a while. And it was kind of feng shui in my bedroom for a while around panties and a dirty pillow. But I sold my Steam Deck and I got some money out of it because I realized I don't give a fuck about mobile gaming. And I realized that it was mid to begin with. Just like it's time for all the Switch fanboys to realize the Switch has always been a subpar console. And now they're selling you the Switch 2 as some godsend of consoles. It's not. It's not. Switch 2 is $100 overpriced. Sorry. It is. You guys are suckers for rushing out and buying it. And if you guys are that stupid to where you're willing to give them $500 for a mediocre console, not handheld, mediocre console, then you should send $1 each to Mr. Happy Dude, and I'll get you my address on Discord. I mean, his address on Discord. You're actually a sucker if you support this. We're gonna get updated old games. Oh, can't wait to play Tears of the Kingdom on Switch 2 for $80 fucking dollars. And I know I'm going to get hate for this video just because Nintendo fanboys can't handle hearing that the Nintendo hasn't made a good console in about 15 years. The last good console was the N64. Actually, maybe the GameCube. GameCube had some gems. The GameCube was actually really cool. But I would still say the N64. And I would say if they were smart, they would stick to that kind of stuff. They managed to find an entire fan base of extreme suckers. You guys have heard of that TV show, Extreme Cheapskates? You guys are going to be on that TV show, Extreme Suckers. And the funny part is, y'all are the same motherfuckers that can't afford food, you can't afford your rent, you can't afford your insurance payments, you can't afford any of that stuff, but you can afford this? $80 for a re-release on a console we should have gotten a couple of years ago instead of a upgrade? You know why you're so mad right now? I know some of you are mad in the comments. Oh, this video is going to get hate. I don't care. I don't fucking care anymore. You know why you're so mad? Because I'm right. I'm actually right. And this right here is the beginning of game companies charging us more money for games. It's coming. And the thing is, it would be fine with me if the games were worth $80. Like if it was Claire Obscure Expedition 33 level quality for every game I played, it'd be worth $80. Guys. But guess what? It's not. It's fucking not. It's old news Nintendo. And y'all are lining up and y'all are simping for that shit? Sorry guys. I can't help you. Neo with the Balding Plebs. I love to watch you suckers make bad decisions. If you're buying the Switch 2 in the comments, I know you're gonna let me know, and I know you're gonna cuss me out. I love it. I feed on your misery, your unhappiness. It sustains me. I want you to know that. It's very important to me that you understand that your unhappiness and your misery and your inability to handle the fact that I'm correct about this, it sustains me. It does. Yeah. Man, this is why you suckers don't have any money. That and y'all motherfuckers are spending $14 a pack on cigarettes. But either way, doesn't matter. The losers going to continue to be losers. Just keep supporting a company that doesn't give a shit about you, hates its fan base, and quite frankly, will look for any excuse to raise prices on games, especially subpar media like games that come out on the Nintendo Switch.